So, somewhat recently, a new company dropped into the mechanical keyboard scene and created quite the splash. It took an age-old technology and optimized it perfectly, where the gamers said it was nearly cheating. This keyboard company is called Wooting, and their 60HE is regarded as one of the best gaming keyboards out there in the market, if not the best gaming keyboard. Now, others want to jump in and claim a slice of that pie. Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is Scott K. So, Wooting was labeled the cheat code of gaming keyboards. Their brilliant usage of Hall effect switches, it created amazing new opportunities for gamers. On top of all that, they started to offer accessories to turn a gaming keyboard into something closer to a custom mech. Now, a custom mech company wants to do the same thing, but go backwards. Take a custom mech and go after gamers. That is a new Holy 60 by KBDfans. Well, not just any Holy 60, but the one with the Rakka Hall effect PCB. This won't be a Wooting vs KBDfans video. I'm working on that one later, more on Hall effect keyboards in general. Rather, this video is going to be a quick one on whether KBDfans is on the right track or not. And at this point, if you're like, what is Hall effect? Check out my previous video that does a good job explaining it. Now let's get started. So let's get the obvious out of the way, yeah? This thing is called Holy 60. Well, and also it's holy. Like someone took a shotgun to a tofu 60 kind of holy, but in a more classy way, obviously. This aluminum milled case is so lightweight that it weighs just 220 grams. It's like holding a stack of aluminum plates. The thing is that this case can actually be paired up with both the Rakka PCB, which is a magnetic or Hall effect, or many other standard 60% PCBs as well. Or you could even take the Wooting module from the Wooting 60HE directly, effectively turning it into a Holy Wooting 60HE. Regardless, it'll look like Borat in a bathing suit. And just like Borat, it's striking and eye-catching at the same time, whether it's good or bad, that's up to you. Given the fact that everything is exposed and it's one piece, the Holy 60 case is a tray mount design. Before you guys fall out of your chairs at this point, I don't think you can really fit any other kind of mounting style into this case design right now. But at the same time, this goes the same for the ever popular Wooting 60 and the Alumaze case as well. Now, the plate for the Holy 60 is pretty regular, right? Meaning there really isn't much difference between this and most other 60% plates out there, standard FR4. However, the PCB is not. If you glance at it from afar, it looks pretty standard, and then bam, get close and you're like, what? So simple looking. Well, unless you flip it over. No flex cuts or any other shenanigans here, right? However, it does still use standard PCB mount stabs, which is a good thing. Foam, yes, got lots of it. Honestly, I was like, what should I do with all this? But then I decided to use the plate and the PE foam, and I will explain why later. I left out the case foam so that you could kind of see the internals. Plus, you don't even really have a case-to-case foam, right? It's non-existent here. So unlike the PCB, the switches are also very unique. So check these out. These are the Gateron magnetic switches. Where have we seen these before? Yes, it's the lacquer switches from the Wooting 60HE. Are they the same? Well, housing material and colors different, but the switch itself, how it operates and everything else, it seems to be the same. And yes, they're both orange as well. Since this is a hot swap technically, you can stick them into the plates as you would with any other kind of switch out there, like a standard MX switch. Now, one great thing about the Gateron lacquer or the Gateron Hall effect switches is that they have the standard MX cross stem design, right? Like standard MX switches. So you can fit many MX keycaps on here as you would with other mechanical keyboards. I finished off my Holy 60 with a set of PBTFans Fairy keycaps. What I really like about these keycaps that it's not just the colorway, right? I do like the colorway, but also the translucent modifiers. The translucent purple, it looks really nice, especially with the overall package of the keyboard. This is how it ended up. Super clean look, but with obviously the unique holiness of the case. Definitely stands out from the rest of the keyboards out there, and the whole build, it's just strange because it's so lightweight. Honestly, talking about Hall effect or magnetic keyboards, the hardware is only half the story, right? Because this kind of keyboard, it's pretty much worthless without a good software to take like full usage of the technology. But before we do that, let's go to a quick sound test. So if you recall from all my nerdy sound videos, the case, it plays a big role in producing sound. It acts like a chamber, a vibrating body, an amplifier, and a whole lot more to create or shape the sound. However, in this case, no pun intended, Holy 60 is closer to typing on just a plate and PCB than like an actual keyboard. In addition, how the Gateron magnetic switches are designed, they don't really make much noise as they bottom out. So what does that mean? A quiet keyboard overall. Hence why I stuck in the foams, right? I needed that to help like amp things up a little bit, especially the P foam. Even with it though, it's still on the quieter side. Plus the HE switches don't have a crisp bottom out as you would expect from like a standard MX switch. Might not be bad for gaming, but it's probably really good for gaming, but I'm not sure if this is like the best switch for typing, honestly. Okay, the thing you were waiting for, the software. What's nice about the Rakka PCB that it's customizable on the fly, it's like VIA. So you go onto KBDfans website, you could access it like right there, load up the configurator, and it changes the keep settings real time. Yes, you have the standard options like key bindings and layers like any other keyboard out there, which is pretty important actually on a 60% keyboard. But not only that, you get a whole slew of Hall effect only options like this. The Rakka allows you to change the actuation settings for each individual key or a collection of keys. It's very convenient, customizable for your gaming needs. Furthermore, you can adjust just the actuation point from something as ridiculous as like 0.1 millimeters all the way up to 4, which is like full bottom out. At 0.1 millimeter actuation, you could literally blow on the keyboard and it'll start typing, like for reals. It was somewhat unnerving. Then you also got settings to either enable or disable the rapid trigger. What is rapid trigger, you ask? It's actually something that was made famous with the Wooting keyboards in the past, and a few other keys subsequently. Unlike a standard mechanical keyboard where you need to actually physically trigger a leaf for input, Hall effect switches measure the electric field as the magnet on the stem gets closer or further away from the PCB. Which means that any change of direction can be accepted as an input, which means extremely fast inputs. No need to trigger, reset, and then trigger again like a standard mechanical switch. Not only does the Rakka PCB allow you to enable this, but also allows you to customize how this operates, like the actuation points, the reset, everything. Very nice for those who want like precision dialing of their preferences for each individual key. So I tried this out. And yes, you can massively button smash or register a stack of inputs like no standard mechanical keyboard can. In fact, I noticed that you could register so many more inputs than a standard MX switch. Now, I can see why they say these keyboards are cheating. So given all this, did KBDfans do a good job? I think yes. Besides the striking design, the obvious highlight of the Holy 60 keyboard is actually the Rakka PCB and its capabilities. I don't think you would really buy this without that, honestly, in mind, right? Now, is it better than the Wooting? I don't know. We'll have to test that. I'm planning to gather a bunch of Hall effect switch keyboards in the upcoming weeks and try to do a comparison video. Honestly, like everybody and their mothers are putting out Hall effect keyboards now, so stay tuned. There are a few things I would like to see improved though, like that strap concept they had. It just feels a little too much like Wooting, right? The tray mount is reliable, but I feel that in the future versions, something more sophisticated would be nice. Like even using some grommets or something like that to soften things out a little bit. Finally, I know that it's the characteristic of the Gateron magnetic switch in general, but if KBDfans can improve the sound output of the keyboard, that would be nice because I'm not a big fan of the magnetic switch bottom out sound. So I hope that gives you a good understanding of what first Hall effect keyboard from a major custom key company is like. So as usual, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, and I'll have more content for you in the future.